Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, definitely there's a lot in today's consent calendar, so I too will limit my remarks. First is item Q that you, Mr. President, have put forward, introduction of a special appropriation for the common ownership communities. And this is really important because we know that many common ownership communities are homes to residents who were hit really hard during the Great Recession, resulting in delinquent payments and fees, which made it extremely hard for those communities to maintain their most basic facilities and amenities. And so this is really timely, and I think it's a strategic step to provide support on the front end to these housing communities before the current economic situation gets worse. So thank you for your leadership on that. I'd also like to talk about item R, the introduction of a special appropriation to provide additional permanent supportive housing for veterans and unsheltered adults. For nearly a year, I've been working with Bethesda Cares, one of our incredible nonprofit organizations that provide services to end and prevent homelessness. And they had come up with an innovative proposal that will allow homeless veterans and others to access an apartment so that they can call it a home. And we know that too many barriers exist for individuals who are trying to rent an apartment, such as a bad credit score. And this creative approach that Bethesda Cares has put forward will allow them to be the master leasee, which means that Bethesda Cares is actually taking on the legal burden and responsibility for providing housing for its clients. And what makes this proposal even better is that private philanthropists have contributed nearly $160,000 to match the county's contribution of approximately $355,000. So that's really good there. And this type of smart partnership and investment is really what we need. We've been seeing it in other areas during this pandemic with public dollars being matched by private philanthropy to help our most vulnerable. So I just really want to thank Bethesda Cares, the leadership, the board, and the staff for providing such a thoughtful and creative solution to help end and prevent homelessness here in Montgomery County. And then finally, I'd like to comment on item N, a resolution to urge Maryland state lawmakers to change Maryland, My Maryland is the state song, and to urge against the song from being played at official Montgomery County events. We know that our nation has been dramatically shaped by decades and centuries of systemic racism, from laws to statues, from names of sports teams, and to official state songs all across the country. We're having these really important conversations and taking decisive actions to promote the best qualities in our society. And here in Montgomery County and across Maryland, we know that the day of reckoning is before us. And the state song, Maryland, My Maryland, was known to many as a Confederate battle hymn, written by James Randall Ryder, a Baltimore resident, in response to the 1861 Pratt Street riots. Maryland, My Maryland was Ryder's response to a situation he did not like: the Union troops confronting Confederate sympathizers. And our state song portrayed Union troops as, quote, Northern scum, and it also referred to President Abraham Lincoln as a tyrant. So our state song was used as a symbol to support an institution that enslaved people, robbing them of their freedom and self-determination. And so we know, all of us, that we have a Maryland that we love, one that is inclusive. And the Maryland that I know is welcoming to everybody. And that Maryland, I know, celebrates the beautiful diversity of all 6 million residents. And so change is good, change is positive, and by transmitting this resolution to the General Assembly, we're signaling our desire for a new state song, one that allows us to sing from our heart without hesitation or reservation. And so I'm proud to have worked with my colleagues on this matter, and I know that under House Speaker Adrian Jones's leadership in Annapolis, I'm confident that she and her colleagues in the General Assembly will swiftly replace this state song. Thank you, Mr. President.